The world is a book, and those who do not travel read only one page. I was not yet in love, yet I loved to love. I sought what I might love, in love with loving. Right is right even if no one is doing it. Wrong is wrong even if everyone is doing it. Since you cannot do good to all, you are to pay special attention to those who, by accidents of time, or place, or circumstance, are brought into closer connection with you. Do you wish to rise? Begin by descending. You plan a tower that will pierce the clouds. Lay first the foundation of humility. I held my heart back from positively accepting anything, since I was afraid of another fall, and in this condition of suspense I was being all the more killed. Sin is looking for the right thing in the wrong place. And men go abroad to admire the heights of mountains, the mighty waves of the sea, the broad tides of rivers, the compass of the ocean, and the circuits of the stars, yet pass over the mystery of themselves without a thought. The measure of love is to love without measure. The punishment of every disordered mind is its own disorder. In order to discover the character of people, we have only to observe what they love. The truth is like a lion, you don't have to defend it. Let it loose, it will defend itself. You called and shouted and burst my deafness. You flashed, shone, and scattered my blindness. You breathed odors, and I drew in breath and panted for you. I tasted, and I hunger and thirst. You touched me, and I burned for your peace. The mind commands the body and is instantly obeyed. The mind commands itself and meets resistance. What does love look like? It has the hands to help others. It has the feet to hasten to the poor and needy. It has eyes to see misery and want. It has the ears to hear the sighs and sorrows of men. That is what love looks like. The soul is torn apart in a painful condition as long as it prefers the eternal because of its truth but does not discard the temporal because of familiarity. Love begins with a smile, grows with a kiss, and ends with a teardrop. How can the past and future be, when the past no longer is, and the future is not yet? As for the present, if it were always present and never moved on to become the past, it would not be time, but eternity. If you keep silent by love. If you speak by love. If you correct by love. If you pardon by love. Let love be rooted in you, and from the root nothing but good can grow. Love and do what you will. I was unhappy, and so is every soul unhappy which is tied to its love for mortal things. When it loses them, it is torn in pieces, and it is then that it comes to realize the unhappiness which was there even before it lost them. Complete abstinence is easier than perfect moderation. Sin is energy in the wrong channel. Since love grows within you, so beauty grows. For love is the beauty of the soul. You never go away from us, yet we have difficulty in returning to you. Come, Lord, stir us up and call us back. Kindle and seize us. Be our fire and our sweetness. Let us love. Let us run. Some people, in order to discover God, read books. But there is a great book, the very appearance of created things. Look above you. Look below you. Read it. God, whom you want to discover, never wrote that book with ink. Instead, he set before your eyes the things that he had made. Can you ask for a louder voice than that? God provides the wind, man must raise the sail. For a prohibition always increases an illicit desire so long as the love of and joy in holiness is too weak to conquer the inclination to sin. Hope has two beautiful daughters, their names are Anger and Courage. Anger at the way things are, and courage to see that they do not remain as they are. Pride is the beginning of sin. And what is pride but the craving for undue exaltation? And this is undue exaltation, when the soul abandons him to whom it ought to cleave as its end, and becomes a kind of end to itself. For the human race is, more than any other species, at once social by nature and quarrelsome by perversion. You are not the mind itself, for you are the Lord God of the mind. All these things are liable to change, but you remain immutable above all things. My soul is like a house, small for you to enter, but I pray you to enlarge it. It is in ruins, but I ask you to remake it. It contains much that you will not be pleased to see, this I know and do not hide. But who is to rid it of these things? There is no one but you. The purpose of all wars is peace. We do not seek peace in order to be at war, but we go to war that we may have peace. Be peaceful, therefore, in warring, so that you may vanquish those whom you war against, and bring them to the prosperity of peace. True religion looks upon as peaceful those wars that are waged not for motives of aggrandizement or cruelty, but with the object of securing peace, of punishing evildoers, and of uplifting the good. A thing is good and pleasant only because it is connected to him. Use it apart from its source, and it will come to taste bitter. Since the good thing is his, how can it remain worth loving if you forsake him to get it? Though defensive violence will always be a sad necessity in the eyes of men of principle, it would be still more unfortunate if wrongdoers should dominate just men. To fall in love with God is the greatest romance, to seek him the greatest adventure, to find him, the greatest human achievement.